That is rather wily of you, Zevran.
What is so wily of me, O magical temptress?
Getting in the good graces of the one who decides whether you live or die, not to mention the one who can protect you against your former comrades.
And I am supposed to believe you are here out of a sense of patriotism, perhaps?
Hardly that.
We all have our reasons for doing what we do. Mine happen to come with a set of strong hands.
I'm wondering, Morrigan, do you believe in the Maker?
Certainly not. I've no primitive fear of the moon, such that I must place my faith in tales so that I may sleep at night.
But this can't all be an accident. Spirits, magic, all these wondrous things around us, both dark and light. You know these things exist.
The fact of their existence does not presuppose an intelligent design by some absentee father figure.
So it is all random then. A happy coincidence that we are all here.
Attempting to impose order over chaos is futile. Nature is, by its very nature, chaotic.
I don't believe that. I believe we have a purpose. All of us.
Yours, apparently, being to bother me.
How long were you in that cloister, my dear woman?
Just over 2 years. Why do you ask?
And all the brothers and sisters there, they had taken vows?
Most of them, yes.
For 2 years you had no contact with anyone but men and women who are promised to some uncaring god?
What are you getting at?
Didn't you desire companionship during those 2 years? 2 years! The very thought makes me weak.
My time in the cloister was a time of contemplation. I occupied myself with thoughts of the Maker and other worthy pursuits. But like I said, most of the brothers and sisters had taken vows. Not all of them. Some were just affirmed, like me.
Ah, that is not so bad then.
Nothing happened, Zevran. It would not be right to engage in that behavior in a house devoted to the Maker.
Why? The Maker made us who we are. He made our urges. He gave us these parts. You think he made them for looks?
Do you have any tales of the wilds?
None of the sort you like. No princesses in tall towers or knights throwing themselves at whole armies.
That's not all I like.
Do you want tales of the chastened wilders who dwell in the marsh? Do you want to hear of the slow deaths they inflict on their enemies? Perhaps a tale of the poisonous creatures of the wilds that lay their eggs on your skin so their young may eat you alive when hatched? Or a tale of my mother's marsh cuisine. That, in my opinion, is the most terrifying of all my tales.
No, I don't want to hear about those things.
Then I have no tales for you.
So, if the legend of your mother is true, Morrigan, does that mean that the legends of her many daughters are as well?
To be honest, I have no idea. I've never met any sister of mine, nor has my mother spoken of any.
But it could be true, yes? If you exist, there could have been others like you.
Long ago, perhaps. Why?
We have legends of witches in Antiva. One that tells of a witch of the wild, traveled far from her home to settle in the Tellery swamps.
And? You thought I might know this woman?
If one legend can be true, why not another? Who knows how many Morrigans are scattered about Thedas,
It's not something I'd like to contemplate.
Oh? You do not appreciate a little competition from a half-sister or two?
Silence, elf. It is none of your concern.
These markings of yours, they have a certain appeal. They remind me of how we used to paint our faces in Orlais.
Ah, but these are not just paint.
Do they mean anything to you, these symbols?
Some do. Some symbols are sacred to the cross. I am not permitted to tell you what they mean. Others are there to accentuate the lines of the body, its curves and musculature. It is hard to explain with armor and clothing on.
But I don't recall seeing many markings on your body.
Ah, no. Of course not. They are not in the places you have yet seen. I can show you if you wish.
No. I think not.
Is this a problem?
Not at all. I'm merely content looking at the markings on your face, that is all.
Have it your way. Should you change your mind,
You'll be the first to know, don't you worry.
such sinister glares do you a disservice, dear Morrigan. Yours should be a face that smiles.
Do tell.
Has no one told you? Perhaps that is not surprising, considering you have lived such a sheltered life. Were you a woman of the city, you would be accustomed to men showering you with praise and gifts.
I know as much of men as I need to. I know when one is indulging in pointless flattery, for instance.
It is flattery only if I exaggerate the truth to please you. I am but stating a simple fact.
Tell me, does this work on other women?
I think any woman would like to hear the truth of how her beauty affects a man. Do you not?
I think that sort of manure is best reserved for farming.
One day you will realize that you have wasted your youth and beauty on bitterness and suspicion. Mark my words.
Remind me to bring you along if we go sailing. The hot air will prove useful.